Well, like you said, I go to his dad's church, and I knew he before he became a pastor, and praise God he did, right?
Amen.
But if you want to take your Bibles with me, go to 1 Samuel chapter number 17. Today, I don't want to take too long because it's the last day of camp, and I know what it's like being in camp. I was there a few years ago. Everybody wants to go play a game. Everybody wants to go have fun on the last day. But also know what happens when we go home from camp. Also knows what's waiting for us as soon as we get home from camp. So today, I want to ask you this question. I'm not going to take too long, but what is your Goliath today? In your life, what is your Goliath? Alright, let's go to 1 Samuel chapter number 17, and let's start in verse number 32. Now, pay attention, we won't be jumping around just a little bit. It says, 1 Samuel 32, 17, chapter 17. And David said to Saul, "Let no man's heart fail because of him. Thy servant will go and fight with the Philistine." And Saul said to David, "Thou art not able to go against this Philistine to fight with him, for thou art but a youth, and he a man of war from his youth." Now go on down to verse number 37. And David said, "Moreover, the Lord that delivered me out of the paw of the lion and out of the paw of the bear, he will deliver me out of the hand of this Philistine." And Saul said to David, "Go, and the Lord be with thee." And then finally in verse number 40. And he took his staff in his hand, and he chose him 5 smooth stones out of the brook, put them in the shepherd's bag which he had, even in a scrip, and his sling was over in his hand, and he drew near the Philistine. So, I want to start out saying, we have a Goliath in our life. You have to figure out, first of all, if you're saved, most of you are, or I'm assuming most of you are, if you're walking with the Lord, you're going to have a Goliath in your life.
Right.
You're going to have something in your life that looks too big to beat.
Right.
We have to figure out, first of all, if we're going to beat this Goliath, we have to figure out what he is. Because if we're just fighting the wrong thing, we're going to lose every time.
That's right.
I'll be honest with you guys. This week, I've been listening to messages, and I've been getting spoke to, and I didn't know if this is what I was supposed to preach. I'm going to be honest with you. I was struggling with it all yesterday. So, we've kind of had this message before, and I'm like, I want to preach the same thing. But then, a camper came up to me at the end of the service last night. I prayed to the Lord, said, "Lord, just kind of, confirm this is what you want me to do." And at the end of the service, I'm not going to call his name out, but a camper came up to me, and he asked me, said, "Matt, I have a Goliath in my life. How do I beat him?" And I was like, "All right, Lord, that's what I'm supposed to say."
That's right.
So that's my sign. So I know if there's one in here, then we all have a Goliath. We all have a Goliath. I have a Goliath in my life.
Sure.
You know what I'm saying? Look at 17:1. Just so you get this clear. It says in verse number 1 of chapter 17, "Now the Philistines gathered together their armies to battle, and they were gathered at Shokah, which belonged to Judah, and pitched between Shokah and Azekah and Esoph." That E word, something like that. Now look, we may have a Goliath, but there's an army behind that Goliath. So we're not going to have just one problem. Don't get me wrong. Don't get me confused here. We're not just going to have one Goliath. There's going to be an army.
Yeah.
But there is a Goliath. There's a big problem outside of everything else. Look at verse number 16, 17:16. This is how you can tell, number one, if this is your Goliath. It says in verse number 16, "And the Philistine drew near, morning and evening, and presented himself 40 days."
Yeah.
You know what that means? That when you wake up in the morning, your Goliath is going to be there.
That's right.
When you go to bed at night, your Goliath is going to be there. When you're out having fun and you're out, not thinking about it, your Goliath is going to be there. Goliath is not going to go away. Okay? There's just no chance he's just going to go away for you. Okay? This problem is so often that's how you know you have a Goliath. That's how you know this is my Goliath. You may be suffering, we may do different kinds of sin every single day. We all may lie, we all may, we may lust, we may do whatever we want, we may be jealous. That's the army. But we have a Goliath. We have this thing that we struggle with the most. What's some examples of Goliath? You want to see one? This right here.
Right.
This
Sure.
is a big example of Goliath.
Sure.
You want to know why? Because connected to this little thing right here, you got music, you got the internet, you got social media,
Right.
and you got anything else you can fit on this thing. This is a Goliath.
Right.
Now, it can be used for good, don't get me wrong,
Yeah.
but for a lot of us, that's a Goliath. That's
Right.
my Goliath, right there. That's what I struggle with. Here's the thing. When you wake up in the morning, if we were all home, we weren't at camp, and we weren't under anybody else's watch, we all wake up, what's the first thing we do? We go, oh, man, I got good sleep. Oh, my Goliath, my phone. That is right. Let's check that out real quick. Isn't that right? Don't we all check our phones in the morning?
Sure.
Right? We're all like, oh, I gotta see what happened last night. That's my Goliath. Goliath is going to take up most of your attention, most of your free time. If you guys weren't here, I guarantee you, I could walk by you. You know what you'd be doing? This is what you're going to do right here.
All right.
Oh, do you need something? You know what I'm saying? Your Goliath is going to take up most of your time. You may be listening to the kind of music that it's not that bad. I mean, it's not that many cuss words in it, but it doesn't give God glory. It doesn't uplift God. And we can quote that. We can remember that song lyric, right? We can all think of some song lyric right now that's not a Christian song, and like, oh yeah, that's my favorite song. But we can't quote a Bible verse. We can't remember one Bible verse, right?
Lord help us.
We can think of our favorite video on the internet, right? We can think of I love Vines. Anybody else love Vines? Hands across the room. Yes, love Vines. I guarantee you guys can quote me your favorite Vine right now.
Sure.
But if I had to ask you what your favorite Bible verse is,
Come on now.
you want to look it up,
Oh my.
right?
Oh,
It's good.
What's your Goliath?
help
today,
us,
guys?
preacher.
What is your Goliath? Goliath is going to be big. Alright? So, number one, we have to figure out what our Goliath is. Because we can't beat him if we don't know who he is.
Right.
Alright, and then number two, we got to realize that he's just going to get bigger.
That's right.
Ain't that right?
Right.
Go to chapter 17, verse number 4. Chapter 17, verse number 4. And it says, and there went out a champion out of the camp of the Philistines named Goliath of Gath, whose height was 6 cubits and a span. Now, I don't know the exact measurements, but let's just give a real world example. Brother Travis, can you stand up for me? Just real quick. Y'all look at Brother Travis. You see how tall he is? He's a pipsqueak compared to Goliath. Goliath was big. I mean, you're thinking 9 feet tall. I mean, big dude. But he wasn't just a skinny little, he wasn't just skinny. I mean, he had a couple hundred pounds on him. And this is a big guy, this is a muscle guy. This was a guy that's been fighting his whole life.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Goliath ain't just small, ain't just tall, but he's big. He's powerful. Your phone may only be, 6 inches? But spiritually speaking, Goliath is huge. Your phone's going to be bigger than you can see over. And you know why Goliath is so big? Goliath is going to keep you from serving the Lord. Goliath's going to keep you distracted from doing what the Lord wants you to do. Goliath is going to say, I could be reading my Bible right now, but I need to check my Goliath real quick. I need to hop onto my Goliath real quick. I need to play a couple hours of Goliath night, Fortnite, PUBG. You know, we gotta spend we gotta spend some time with our Goliath. Here's the thing though. Goliath didn't start out big, did he? Right. Think about it. Goliath was a baby. He was small too at one time. Goliath didn't start out huge in your life. Goliath started very, very small. And he kept feeding. Right. He kept giving time. Here's the thing. You didn't just jump in to all the bad music and listen to that all the time. You said, oh, I like that song that's on the radio. I'm going to listen to that one. Yeah, that's really catchy. I'm going to keep listening to that. Oh, he has other artists like that. I'm going to listen to this guy. You see how it's a cycle? You keep feeding Goliath in your life, and he's just going to get bigger. But here's another thing. You can't ignore Goliath. Goliath is so big, you ain't going to miss him. Here's the I asked a friend one time, and this guy was not saved, and he wasn't doing the right things. He was doing drugs. And I asked him, why? You know, that's the one question about this. Why? Why? He goes, dude, it gets me above, and I don't think about any of my problems. It makes me forget about everything. And I looked at him and I said, well, what happens when you get off? When you come back down? Is your problem still there? He goes, yeah, I guess you're kind of right. See, we can find ways to distract ourselves from Goliath, right? But let me tell you something. He's just gonna get bigger. He's just gonna get closer to you. We can keep pretending Goliath isn't there, but let me tell you, he's still gonna be there. It don't matter what we do. We have to learn how to fight Goliath. But here's another. Oh, I got one more. Hold on. Look at 17:23. Look, turn your Bibles to chapter 17, verse number 23. All right, and it says, and as he talked with them, behold, there came up the champion of the Philistine of Gath, Goliath by his name, out of the armies of Philistine, and he spake according to the same words, and David heard them. And all the men of Israel, when they saw him, fled from him and were sore afraid. You know what that means? Everybody's afraid of Goliath. It don't matter who you are. It don't matter how big you are. It don't matter what you know or what you think you know. You're going to be afraid of Goliath. Think about it. These were soldiers. These were guys that had fought before, that had experience fighting. And they were scared of Goliath. Let me tell you, I'm scared of my Goliath. It's the day when you are not afraid of your Goliath is when you know you have a problem. That's when you know that he's won. Okay? Well, let's look at this. Goliath isn't a one-time battle. Now, he was for David, but for us down here, Goliath is not a one-time battle. Because you've got to realize, guys, Goliath is just a tool. Goliath is just one tool in the arsenal. Because we have an actual enemy today. We have an enemy that wants to destroy every single one of your lives. He wants you to not do anything for the Lord. He wants you to end up straight in hell. You don't have to turn there, but we have an actual villain named Satan. If you'll turn, 1 Peter 5:8 says, be sober, be vigilant, because your adversary, the devil, as a roaring lion, walketh about seeking whom he may devour. You know what that means? The devil is just using your Goliath. He put Goliath in your life to keep you distracted. He's going to make him so big, you're going to think, well, I can't fight Goliath. I'm not going to beat that. I mean, look how bad I am. You don't know. I've been listening to this music for so many years, Matt. You don't get it, okay? I've been watching this trash on the internet for so long, I can't quit. Okay, that's what the devil's going to tell you. Well, let me tell you something. There's a way to win. There's a way to beat Goliath.
Amen.
There's a way to beat Goliath, y'all. Because I know how it is. I went to camp, like I said earlier, probably 3 years ago, was the last time I went to camp. And I had to give up my phone, and it sucked. But let me tell you what, I wasn't bothered by my Goliath. While I was at camp, I didn't have my phone, I wasn't bothered by my Goliath. But you know who was waiting when I got home? You know what happened when I got off the bus and I got my phone back and I turned it on? You know what I saw? I saw my Goliath. And he wasn't just like normal. He had been building up. He had been waiting on it. He is like, I know what I'm going to get him. Because just like how we've been all week, we've been feeding the Spirit. We've been getting so close to God. The Goliath's like, I gotta step it up. I gotta get bigger. I gotta give him something that's gonna shatter his world. It's gonna just shock him so much that I'm back in my cycle of Goliath. You know what I'm saying? Here's an example. I struggle with my internet. I'm not gonna lie. You know what happened the day I got home from camp? I got something to shatter my world. My Goliath had been waiting up on me. And you know what? I messed up. I'm not going to lie. I'll be honest with you. And it took me a long time to figure out how to beat my Goliath. It took me so long to figure it out. But he's beatable, guys.
Amen.
Amen.
Alright. So, number one, we have to figure out. We got to figure out what our Goliath is. Second, we got to realize how big he is. And then finally, we got to figure out how do we beat up Goliath? Because let me tell you, if David beat Goliath, we can beat Goliath. You want to know why? I was thinking about this the other day. You want to know why God used David to beat Goliath and not a soldier in the army? Think about that. There were all these soldiers around, and there was King Saul. I mean, this was King Saul. This was the God. Okay, this is King Saul. I mean, he was the coolest of the cool. He was taller than everybody. He used to walk around. He was the guy. He should have been out there fighting. It was his job. Well, you want to know why he used David? I really like this. Look in verse number 33, 1733. It says, and Saul said to David, thou art not able to go against this Philistine to fight with him, for thou art but a youth, and he a man of war from his youth. You know why God used him? He was a youth. He was the guy that nobody thought would win. That's why we say, oh, it's like David and Goliath. Think about it. Because he was so small, without God, there would have been no way to beat him. And that's the same way with us. Without God, there is no way to beat our Goliath. Let me make that very clear. We are all Davids in this story. We are all youth. We are all small. There is no way that we can beat Goliath without the Lord.
That's right. Amen.
You got to realize it's not your job to beat Goliath, guys. You get that? It's the Lord's job. Here's another thing. Now, number one, God didn't use David just because he was a youth. But also look in verse number 37 real quick. 1737. It says, and David said, moreover, the Lord that delivered me out of the paw of the lion and out of the paw of the bear, he will deliver me out of the hand of this Philistine. And Saul said to David, go, and the Lord be with thee. You know what that means? The Lord had put situations in David's life to say, I can beat my Goliath. He said, hey, I fought a bear. I fought a lion. That's pretty big. David was used to fighting things bigger than him. That's the same thing for us. God's put things in our life, put trials in our life to say, hey, I can beat my Goliath.
Yeah.
If I can do this, I can beat Goliath. Because you've got to learn, guys, it's not your job to beat him. It's the Lord's.
Right.
Here's another thing. And this, I really like this. Let's think about it. If you'll look in verse 40 real quick. I was thinking about this. In the battle, we all know the story of David and Goliath, right?
Amen.
We know how he beat him, right? Slinging the rock, right? Nod your heads. Yes?
Yes,
You know,
sir.
okay. Read in verse 40. It said, and he took his staff in his hand, and he chose him 5 smooth stones out of the brook, and put them in the shepherd's bag. Think about that. He chose 5 stones out of the river, right? But he only used one in the battle, right? Look at verse number 49. 49. And David put his hand in his bag, and took thence a stone, and slang it, and smote the Philistine in the forehead, and that he fell upon his face to the earth. He only needed 1 stone. Let me tell you what. You want to know why he grabbed 5 stones? Because this is what bothered me. If David had already beaten the bear and the lion, why did he need more than 1 stone? Okay? Because the world is going to give us stones too. You get that? There's certain things that the world's going to tell you to do to beat your Goliath that aren't going to do anything for you. Too many times are we trying to beat our Goliath, but we're throwing the wrong stones at it. We're too busy, oh, this should work, I'm going to throw this stone. I'm going to throw that stone. I'm going to throw Google's stone. I'm going to throw my buddy's advice stone. You know? I'm going to trust my buddy's advice. He's got a pretty good stone. We only need one stone today, guys. We need God.
Amen.
That's right.
You know what our stone is today? I like this.
Yeah.
This is our stone right here.
Very good.
This is our one stone. You know what's another stone? No, it's the same stone. That's our stone up there.
Amen.
You know what I'm saying? We may have 5 stones that the world's given us, but we only need one. We only need one stone, and too many times are we throwing the wrong stones at Goliath. That's why we're never winning. You know, I would come home from camp, and I know how to beat my Goliath now. I know how to beat him. I'm gonna do this first day. So the first couple days, I was throwing the right stone. I was throwing Jesus out. But then I would get lazy. I would get tired. Anybody's lazy? Anybody? I'll admit to it. I'm lazy. Okay? But let me tell you what. That's when we start reaching for the wrong stones. You get that? Because I would be struggling with something, but I wouldn't go read my Bible. No. I'll be okay for tonight. I read it the other day. I should be fine. I don't need it tonight. And it's like, well, I really want to listen to this song. But you know what? I'll listen to this. It's not, it's not Christian music. It's not uplifting, but it's not bad. So I'm going to start throwing that stone at. Right? Or you know what? I'm not gonna get on the internet anymore. I'm not gonna do that. But I'm gonna look on Instagram for a little bit. You know, this person is the best to follow. But you know what? It's not that bad. That's what that is right there. That's throwing the wrong stone at your Goliath. That's just saying, I'm lazy. I don't want to win. Wrong stone. Okay? But this is my favorite point. This is how we beat Goliath. Everybody want to beat Goliath today? Raise your hands. Y'all want to beat Goliath? Let's see how the Lord acted when he was tempted, or when he had to face Goliath. Y'all turn to Matthew chapter number 4, 1 through 11. Matthew chapter 4, number 11. All right. I'll give y'all a second. There's 2 ways to beat Goliath today, guys. There's 2 ways. But some of us, we're going to start throwing the wrong stones. Matthew chapter 4, verse number 1. It says, Then was Jesus led up of the Spirit into the wilderness to be tempted of the devil. And when he had fasted 40 days and 40 nights, and was afterward hungry. I'm going to pause right here. Let's think of this. The devil is going to come at you when you're tired, when you're hungry, and when you're not thinking about it. You get me? Because that's when he knows he's going to beat you. That's when Goliath is going to pop up. Because when you start beating Goliath, everybody, he's gonna start backing off. Because he's just going to start looking for the opportunities to stick in. He's like, well, he looks pretty weak today. I'm going to get him. I'm going to get him today. Or, no, not today. I'll get him tomorrow. Look, he's had a long day. He's played sports all day. He's been to school. He's done all this. He's mowed the grass. He's not going to read his Bible today. We'll wait till tomorrow.